Dime lo que es, dime lo que es, dime lo que es. Captain Zevin here, and we're here with some more One Piece content. Hope you stick around and enjoy the show and like, comment, subscribe because that helps my channel in such a positive way. But let's get to it. Is Luffy Yonkou level? So going into Wano, obviously we had the big news Morgans, like it was such a divide. Some people are saying, "Oh yeah, Luffy's an emperor," and other people are like, "Nah, he's not ready." And I remember that was such a monumental day in the community. Like everyone was flipping out, and I I feel like at the time, personally, I accepted it because it's like Oda is literally saying fifth emperor, like poking at everyone, saying no, like this Luffy's there, that's what he is now, and I feel like part of the reason there was such a big like dispute on it is because he couldn't. No one felt like he could tango straight up with the emperors. Like everyone's saying he can't beat an emperor, and I'm just like, well, yeah, he can't beat one, but in my opinion, he was at the bottom of the tier because you look at Blackbeard. How did he become an emperor? He beat the Whitebeard crew. He beat the number one after Whitebeard, Marco, and so in my opinion, that kind of like is the comparison I use to why I see why they would consider Luffy like, you know, an emperor because yeah, he didn't beat an emperor, but he beat the number 3 and 1 of Big Mom's crew like within 24 hours. Like let's remember, like within a 24-hour span, he beat the top 1 and 3 of Big Mom's crew, an emperor. So, and you can argue like literally all the odds were against him. Like you could compare it to what the lady Nyan back in the Kuja village like said about him going to Marineford. Like he was like this little fly going into a storm, and Luffy went in there with half his crew, half his crew. You had Pedro and Carrot, and they straight up went in there so that they could just come back with Sanji. Now, a lot of things unfolded, and they ended up, finding Jinbei, and Jinbei's obviously on their side, and part of the crew, and then they ended up teaming up with Capone, and oh yeah, and Caesar was there, and Caesar obviously didn't want to be there, but yeah, so all the odds were against them, like they weren't there to straight up fight Big Mom's crew. They were just trying to get Sanji and out. And they ended up being, obviously, we knew it wasn't going to be just get them and out. But they won that. They legit won that. They went in there to get Sanji. They walked out of there with Sanji. And out of everything that happened, they had one real casualty, which was Pedro. Like, no one thought that it was gonna even be close, but they pulled it off. And so to me, I get why he would be elevated to that status, even though it was arguable. Now we fast forward into deeper into Wano and got one shot by Kaido. And it's like, huh, holy crap, how far is that gap like in reality? And a lot of people like to argue, well, he went from getting one shot to now he's actually fighting him, and it's like, well, he did a lot of training, and Luffy is no slouch when it comes to fighting. He picks things up very quickly, and the thing that took him out before ain't gonna take him out again just as easily, And it's like he had no idea what to physically expect from Kaido. Like he had one clash with Big Mom, but like he didn't know what the power of the Emperor was gonna weigh down on him. and he learned the hard way. But it's like now that he knows what to expect, it's like you know what he knows what to expect now, so he know what he had to elevate himself to. And then he got the Rio training with Hyogoro, and then there was the big mom with amnesia thing, but she showed that Luffy still wasn't physically ready for that yet. And but by the end of his 2 week training, like he got to a point where it's like no, like he really can do this. And throughout the fight with Kaido, and not just Luffy, but all the Warriors Gen that was up there, they were getting, you can argue that they all got way stronger during that fight. Like they took on well to up till now was deemed impossible. Like even the Marines were like, we can't deal with that. But these guys are saying, nah, screw all that. We're gonna deal with it. How can you not get hyped with that? And then Luffy learns Advanced Conquerors. Zoro did it first. I'm just saying. But Zoro scars Kaido, but unfortunately, it doesn't do like it did, and it didn't do much to Kaido. Like, yeah, it's gonna leave a scar, but as Zoro said, I was hoping I was knock you off your feet. Couldn't do that. Odin did, but this Kaido is 20 years later, much stronger. And then you got Luffy, and he just gets up and is like, nah, I'm putting you on your ass. And like just beat him down and at the end of that chapter. And it's like, huh, Luffy learned another thing. And now he's clashing with Kaido evenly in base form. Like no gear 2, no gear 3, no 4. And he's just and Kaido's in hybrid form. Like Luffy's in base form versus Kaido in hybrid form. And he's matching the blows. That's insane. Like absolutely insane. Because a big argument everyone's had is that yeah, Gear 4 puts Luffy, that next tier up, but the drawback is just so bad that he can't use Haki for 10 minutes, and he's kind of like just dragging himself for trying to not die. But he can, the fact that he's at a point where he doesn't need to just go into Gear 4 and he can just, in and out, that's insane. Like that's absolutely insane. And then you get the chapter in freaking 1026 and they split the heavens. And Luffy's still in base form, like what the heck? I feel like once Luffy got Conqueror's Haki, a majority of the community is like, nah, he is Yonko level now. Again, in my opinion, still at the bottom of that tier. But it's a lot higher than the bottom that he was going into Wano. And then when he split the heavens, that's when like I feel like him splitting the heavens with Kaido, like I feel like almost everyone in the community is just like, well, he did the rite of passage. He's a Yonko. Like only the top people have done it. Only Yonko and Roger have done this. Like, how do you fight that at this point? Like, and I say he's at the bottom of the tier because right now, in my opinion, like every emperor, if you were to do straight up 1v1, Luffy loses to every emperor. But it's like, okay, Luffy doesn't beat the emperors, but who beats Luffy? In my opinion, nobody. The only other entity that will be a challenge for Luffy is an admiral. Because in my opinion, it's like the admirals are the only other force close, to that tier, and I would argue that Luffy versus an admiral, I would say that Luffy wins. I say Luffy will win. It won't be easy, but I think Luffy's at that point where he beats an admiral, and he doesn't beat a Yonko 1v1, but next arc he will. And right now, it makes sense for him to be at a point where he's about to beat Kaido because, come on, Kaido has been non-stop this entire arc. He had one drink break. Like, from when the Skyvers came from the back and stabbed him till now, he's had one drink break with Big Mom after he beat the Scabbers. This man has just been non-stop, and it's incredible. But yeah, I say Luffy's Yonko level, and a very respectable place on top of that. So it's great. Like, it's great seeing our boy, that broke out of that barrel. Now this is the level that he's at. So hope you enjoyed that video. Like, comment, subscribe for some more content because that will greatly help the channel. And I will see you next time. Captain Zevin